saying anything. He's
Yeah.
like, but do you think I would have ever been able to live on my own?
Uh-huh.
And I sat there, like, I was washing
Thank you for the
dishes.
preface, Andrew, because
Yeah.
I probably would have gotten a phone call from
Yeah.
Cena.
I feel like Andrew
Like,
doesn't love me anymore.
he's leaving me.
And he was just like, he's like, do you think this, like, ever would, like, I would have been okay? And, I, like, stopped and I was, like, at the sink. So, I put my hands on the sink and I look at him and I said, yes, but I think you would have struggled.
Yeah.
I'm like, because you've either
I think it would just
had,
have been a lot of takeout.
it would have been a lot of takeout. I'm
Yeah.
like, your house
And
would have been
snacks.
messy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, until you decided you couldn't live that way.
Yeah.
But at that point, he'd only ever been in a situation, that hoarding situation.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what kind of life would you have accepted for yourself?
Yes.
And I'm like, do I think you would have done it? Yeah. Yeah, you would have been able to do it. I'm like, you would have survived and adapted.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, do I think your quality of life would have been what it is now? I don't know. I'm like, that would have been hard for you.
Yeah.
Cooking and cleaning. I'm like, managing your money, figuring all of that out. I'm like, no one taught you that shit.
Yes.
I'm like, so it would have been a hard experience for you. But yeah, I think you would have survived.
Yeah.
Like, I want to encourage him, but I was also just like, I'm like, I do so much for you.
Yeah.
And like, we kind of laughed. I'm like, it's kind of like, I'm like, and that's my fault. I'm like, I set an expectation for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's kind of like when you get a puppy, and if you don't want it to get on the furniture, you start that from day one.
Uh-huh.
I started caretaking from day one of my relationship with him.
Yes.
And so I set that standard for myself.
Yes.
And maybe, like, sometimes it's like when I'm getting flack, or excuse the phrase, whatever.
Yeah.
Like resistance, when it's like, oh, I need help with chores, I need blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, Cena, because you never accepted help.
Well, yes.
And you allowed that to become normal.
Yes.
So maybe, like, dealing with the change, like, as I told him, I'm like, I work later now. I'm like, there's 2 days a week. I'm not home until well after 5 o'clock, almost 6 o'clock.
Yes.
On Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it would help me astronomically if you made dinners.
Yeah.
Those nights. Like, I can get all the shopping done for it, but you decide what you want to cook. I'll get it done. Like, I'll order the groceries, everything. But you decide what you want to cook. You decide what you can do. But then it's like, it's something I don't have to worry about. I know dinner is going to be made.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be made by the time I get home.
One thing that's less for you to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. And so
I had a moment like that where it's like choosing your battles on the cleaning, like whether it's your way or not kind of thing. Like Josh was putting the toys away last night and into the little yellow cabinet under the TV. Nicole has a way of doing it, and Josh has a way of doing it. Mommy's way is the top is Titus's shelf, the middle is Silas's, the bottom are books, the computers, like musical instruments, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Josh's is just throwing stuff in where it fits. And I came downstairs, I was like, what were you doing making all that noise? Because it was like, it's right under Silas's bedroom.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I was just putting the toys away. And I looked at it and I thought about saying, like, I don't know what I would have said, but I saw that it was like, there was a bunch of Silas's stuff on Titus's shelf, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I literally told myself, don't freak out. At least he picked up the toys without you asking.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's something that I have had to teach myself through this marriage, that
you say that like you've had another marriage.
Well, sorry. I'm just saying, like, through this part of my life where he may, like, do the dishes. Okay, let's talk about this, okay? For one, when we first moved in and first of all, when we first had a dishwasher, he would only put the bowls on top in the dish rack. And you just, in my mind, you just don't do that. And that just takes up a lot of space on the top rack for things that need to go on the top rack. Okay. I broke him of that. Okay. It used to be when I told him to put away the dishes, he would only put away the plates. Because those are dishes. They're not cups or silverware. You know what I mean? So then he would just leave the cups and the silverware and the cooking utensils and pans. Yeah, it was bad in the beginning, okay? Nicole lost it a lot. So now it's he'll load up the dishwasher. And if I add, like, normally I do the big stuff, wash the big stuff, put it over to the side. And here's why. Because Josh does it to where he does enough to where it fills that area. I'm like, but you can stack things and they'll still dry the same way. And that is not in his brain. Like, it's one layer. And if there's this whole space between the cabinet and the dishes and still dishes left, I'm like, why didn't you finish the dishes? There's no room. I'm looking at it like, there's air right here between the cabinet and these clean dishes. You can stack things.
They drip down.
Yeah. So that's why Nicole does that now. Because Nicole loads up that area.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm doing dishes, it's going to happen. And I'm not going to just willy-nilly it. I'm not going to leave dishes. It's the worst feeling when you turn around and there's a dish on the stove or something that you missed.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why Nicole does that part now. Because if you're going to stress out about something that someone else is cleaning, you just need to do it yourself.
Mic drop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's that bothersome for you.
Yeah, if it's something that you can't change how you feel about it, it's your job now.
Or start practicing the Serenity Prayer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my take on that part that you were talking about. You want to finish talking about your Sherapy things? I did not write notes. She did. I have things that I'll say myself.
My last two kind of go together because it's more of like a picture in my head. You need to treat yourself or dress yourself up to a cute outfit. Whether you go buy a new outfit, I always worry about what I'm going to wear on the holidays.
Yeah,
I worry
do
so
too,
much.
and then wish I wore PJs.
Yeah, right. So it's like finding something you're going to be comfortable in.
Yeah,
but like cute outfit, and then also with that cute outfit, an iced coffee or a hot coffee.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
A coffee is literally an accessory to me.
Coffee is an accessory. And every outfit looks better when you're holding a cup of Starbucks.
Yes. Agreed.
That's your next.
Basic white girl.
Yeah. Basic white girl. That's the new campaign.
Yeah. So I agree with most of those statements that you said. But mine differ in a way because I've realized lately that I have a problem with sensory overload with noise. Like, there's a moment, like, my mom now, she turns 50 next year. Okay. So she's not like super old, but like she's to the point where
60, watch your mouth.
Okay. We all know that everyone I'm friends with has parents that are 60 plus. I was a mistake. I wasn't a mistake. I was an accident. Sorry. I'm trying not to say that I was a mistake. But she listens to the TV at like max level. And every time I go into her house, I'm like, I cannot think when this volume is this loud. And I'm not going to conversate with you because I'm not going to be able to concentrate on whatever we're talking about. So I turn it down and then she can't hear it. And I'm like,
put the subtitles on.
Well, yeah. That annoys her family. Meh.
I can't watch TV without
think about it. Think about it with the TV loud. We come over. The kids are loud playing. Like, Caleb's watching his stuff in his room and you can hear it. Or we're making dinner and the vent is on. Like, all of those noises. And I just have sensory overload. And I know there's a lot of people in this world that have that, like, noise sensory thing. And I have picked a room in all the houses that I go to for the holidays where I go and I sit for a couple minutes just to hear the nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's like muffled noises off in the distance, there's just pick your place where you can go and sit and regroup.
This is why I'm a smoker.
Well, yeah, it's nice for you. But yeah, it's just there's just that moment for me where I have to like calm down, or the problem is when I get that way, I start getting upset and frustrated with people.
Same.
And then I start using my snake tongue when I don't want to, or it's not needed.
Well, you know how quiet Andrew and I's house is.
Yeah.
When I go to Edric and Elaine's,
yes,
that's why I meant. Like, it was like I have to come home and like deal with the hangover from it. I need the quiet stillness.
I guess that's also part of my going downstairs at the end of the day after the kids are in bed, and why I try to make myself do that.
Because it's your noise.
Yes.
Yeah. Or lack of noise, whatever you want it to be.
That's part of my thing. Another thing I do is bring my headphones, not my earbuds, headphones, because I'm realizing I just have a lot of like autistic ADHD things about me. Like,
I know.
Wearing
TikTok makes us feel like we have all these
like
disorders.
Compression on my head is a great thing. And just makes me feel safe. Like when I was putting my hands in my sleeve, it was just a safety net thing. Not that I was needing it. It was just something that made me feel comfortable.
Yeah. And of course, I'm like, do you need a blanket?
Yeah. She was like, are you cold? I'm like, I'm not cold. It's just a thing.
I pay attention to all your body cues.
I know. You literally just did the wrist thing that I do. Did you notice you did it? You literally, when I was doing something, you put your arm up and you went like that. And I was like, my thing.
You've imprinted on me.
Yep, I've imprinted. But have your like chargers. I said this last year, like have your chargers, have your headphones, have your phone or tablet, computer, whatever. Something for you to do that is a you thing that can help you come back. Did you see that workbook textbook that I sent you where it was like check all the box? It was an anxiety workbook and it was like check all these boxes.
Yes.
I'm literally thinking about getting one for work or in my car. So if I want to know what else is in it, I have to find the TikTok. I don't know if I added it to my favorites.
I'm sure we could just
it's in
Google
our messages.
Anxiety workbook.
True.
I did like the one where it was like check all the boxes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that pleases me.
Yeah, because it's almost like a Wreck-It journal, but not intense.
If I didn't, if I had taken pictures, so Joe in D&D bought us an official note taking book.
Yeah.
Which we leave at Alex and Teresa's.
Good idea.
On one side of the page is line page, and then when you flip it over, it's a grid page.
For like mapping or
for like mapping anything. It's my social anxiety fill in the squares page.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I feel you.
Yeah. Normally I draw squiggles in my books, but on the squares I can fill in the squares and patterns.
Yeah.
And so I can do stripes in like every other one, like a chessboard.
Yeah.
And then I can put polka dots in the other ones.
Yes.
And then I can line it, and then I can line all the squares. And I'll get into that once we get to Cena segment, D&D catch up.
Yeah.
But I understand the anxiety workbook, having something to ground yourself with.
Yeah.
I bring a physical book.
Me, I like to write in cursive. I just write names over and over, like at work. But there's one word that is a beautiful word to write in cursive and just flows. And I write it over and over when I feel like I'm getting like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Not like work wise, but just like my brain can't focus. Sorry, I'm having breathing issues. Not bad ones. I just need to breathe. It's the word minimum. Have you ever wrote minimum in cursive?
I pretty much exclusively write in cursive.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's a word that's very bubbly, flowy, and that's the kind of writing Nicole likes to do.
I'm only going to see it as. So